the bones and in the back. Here to decapit a Malika mystic.
Back in 1693, the people of Salem, Massachusetts, witches,
Yes?
thought they got rid of the Sanderson sisters for good.
We shall be back!
300 years later, it's Halloween Eve, and they're back.
We're home!
Are you boys a little old to be trick-or-treating?
We're talking about 3 ancient hags versus the 20th century. How bad can it be?
Now they're digging up old friends and running amok. Looking for the one thing they miss most.
Who stay for supper?
I'm not hungry.
Oh, but we are.
Only one boy has the power to stop them
Prepare to die again!
You have no powers here, you fool!
before all Salem falls under their spell.
Hell on you!
Walt Disney Pictures presents Bette Midler,
Hello.
Sarah Jessica Parker,
Would thou dance with me?
and Kathy Najimy. Hocus Pocus.
Into the night!
They love to fly, and it shows.
Good night. Sleep tight. No screaming.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome into That Movie Show here on North Shore 1049, presented by Showcase Cinemas. Mike Wendt and Eddie McCabe here to take you through another week of movies. Eddie, how you doing?
Oh, I am doing great. It's a great week for movies.
It is. We just wrapped up Halloween week, which, of course, here on the North Shore means that Salem can exhale.
Some people, because it was actually really rainy, got bonus spooky days.
Bonus spooky days.
Yeah, they got bonus spooky days because a lot of places in the area, because it was all rainy and everything, postponed trick-or-treating and are actually going to be trick-or-treating tonight.
I don't know if we talked about it. No, we might not have last week, but I had a family wedding last week in Beverly, and on the Thursday, it was the rehearsal at the church right in downtown Beverly.
Yep.
And they did something I had no idea that towns did, which was basically shut down the downtown area so kids could trick-or-treat the businesses.
Okay, yeah, they do that in the North End.
Halloween.
Yeah, they do that in the North End too. You can go around.
I never knew happened.
Yeah, they do it like after school on like a Thursday before, or maybe even a Friday before.
But it was literally a week before because Halloween was on a Thursday.
Right. Yeah. It was a cool thing. It's definitely cool when the businesses. Well, it's when if in the
It's
North
a pain
End.
in the ass to me.
Yeah. Well, in the North End, it was a cool thing, especially because if you're a kid living in the North End, you don't necessarily get the type of Halloween experience that like a suburban kid would get.
Sure, but this was Beverly.
Sure, they get to do both. They're rich kids. It's
okay. I see. Okay, so you're on their side.
Yeah. I'm from.
We're fighting. You're on their side.
I'm from Newton. Of course, I'm on their side.
Of course you are. I'm from Linfield, and I don't know what these business trick-or-treatings are. We literally only have residentials.
Look, last week I was going to an amazing ramen shop in Newton Center called Little Big Diner, and I was inconvenienced because the spooky tradition is all of the villages of Newton have kids paint like spooky paintings on the wall, on the windows of the businesses. And I was inconvenienced because
That's just called vandalism.
Yeah. I do it. I get written up.
Radio Raheem died for that.
I do it when I'm a kid, and I get written up in a gang file.
Oh, man. This has nothing to do with movies, by the way.
No.
Not even a little bit. But we're
talking about bonus spooky days.
Bonus spooky days. So we have a bonus spooky day here with you because we're wrapping up Halloween season in the only way you would on a North Shore station, and that would be with Hocus Pocus.
Yeah, the Walt Disney classic.
All right. Well, pump your brakes there with classic. We're going to do Hocus Pocus today. And we did it a couple weeks ago with Monster Squad, where we just we did basically a radio version of what we do on the podcast over at thatmovieshow.net. You can find That Movie Show on all podcasting apps. We have been deep diving into movies, good, bad, and horrific, for over a year now. And it's been a lot of fun, and we suggest you subscribe and join in the fun with us. So this is another taste, if you will, of what we do over there, where we're just going to kind of deep dive into Hocus Pocus. But since we are on North Shore 1049, since we are presented by Showcase Cinema, since we are That Movie Show, let's do recommendations right out of the gate. Eddie, what do you got?
So I will be going to Kevin Smith's Live on Stage, as he is doing the the tour that he does with his movies nowadays.
Jay and Silent Bob Reboot Roadshow.
Yeah, the Jay and Silent Bob. Yep, the Jay and Silent Bob Reboot Roadshow with Jason Mewes and Kevin Smith at the Wilbur Theater. And I will be going to that one on Friday. So in honor of that, I would like to recommend Dogma, the Kevin Smith classic that also stars Jay and Silent Bob. And it's a very fun movie.
And God.
Yeah, God's in it. Jason Mewes is in it.
In the form of Alanis Morissette.
Chris Rock is in it. And local boys Matt Damon and Ben Affleck.
Oh, yeah. Local talent. They made something or nothing for themselves. They did a little bit.
Yeah. So going to that,
bit.
So next week, we'll have like a little bitty mini review, I guess, at some point on thatmovieshow.net. So pay attention to that, because I will be seeing that movie and then talking about the experience that was
Jay and Silent Bob Reboot Roadshow.
Yeah, with Jason Mewes and Kevin Smith.
I'm actually looking forward to it, because it's released by I believe it's called Sabin Films, Sabin Films, same company that did 3 from Hell, and they're doing it the same way, where they did like a 1 or 2 day Fathom Events release in theaters, and then Kevin Smith is doing a roadshow thing. Rob Zombie didn't do that, but then it's like immediately getting dropped right onto on demand and Blu-ray and all that stuff.
Right.
So I believe the Blu-ray date for Jay and Silent Bob is going to be like December 10th or something. 3 from Hell is already out.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting new way that these, for lack of a better term, lower budget films are getting released.
Well, because there is that middle ground, and I agree. I think that 3 from Hell and this Jay and Silent Bob movie both would do terrible in a wide release, but deserve more than a straight to DVD. So
it keeps also the profits up, because if the budget stays down and the release isn't huge, and they have to throw everything at marketing, because marketing can cost a ton of money.
Right. When I say terrible at a wide release, that's exactly what I mean.
The return on investment.
The return on investment would be terrible if you're releasing 3 from Hell in October on 10,000 screens.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're not going to make that return on investment just isn't going to be there. But that there is a ravenous fan base that will get this on demand, right? Like, there is a horror movie audience for this. Same way with the Jay and Silent Bob audience. Maybe Jay and Silent Bob in 2019 isn't necessarily going to be a blockbuster, but it's going to sell out the Wilbur. It's going to sell out the Wilbur, and everybody in there is likely going to probably buy it as well. So, it's a great way to get a big pomp and circumstance release without having to necessarily break the bank in terms of like a marketing budget and all those traditional film things that cost a lot of money.
Television buys are expensive.
Yeah, right.
So if you had a commercial play, it's something that the general audience takes for granted, but it's gonna go right into my recommendation. But like a week ago, we talked about the Star Wars trailer.
Right.
Just putting that, I think it was probably 2 minutes tops trailer on Monday Night Football was multiple millions of dollars for Disney.
Yeah, for it to be the halftime.
Just that 2 minutes.
Yeah,
not every commercial break that you've seen Rise of Skywalker on, but just that 2 minutes probably cost them multiple millions of dollars. Even though they own the company, it's still a different.
Well, I mean, there is that. But having the announcers at every break be like, hey, tune in at halftime because we're going to have the Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, that costs money, man.
Right.
Because, it's all technically Disney, but
but it's different. Everybody's going to get paid.
Lucasfilm did have to pay ESPN for that.
True. Absolutely true. Which, as I said, bleeds into my recommendation. I actually just rewatched it last night, and I don't know why I rewatched it. I was watching other movies. Well, I was watching I was just watching horror movies and stuff, and
no, you're just hyped for The Mandalorian.
I think that might be because I did watch the Mandalorian trailer earlier in the day, and I think it was one of those things that's like, I just need some Star Wars in my life, and I rewatched The Last Jedi, Episode 8.
Yep.
Which in recent time has been heralded as the worst Star Wars.
It's not. Episode 2 is still a thing.
Exactly. Thank you. And I feel that this movie is extremely underrated and extremely misunderstood.
Yep.
If you just sit and watch it and take your, rose-colored glasses and take your blinders off and all that stuff and just watch it and enjoy yourself for about 2 hours and change, it has its flaws. I'm not saying it's perfect.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's perfect. There's a lot of that whole, I enjoyed parts of the casino thing. I enjoyed the world building of that part of it. There were parts of that I also did not like.
Yeah. There's just one, as like a Star Wars fan, there's one really glaring issue that I have with that movie. It is the fact that this is episode 9, right? Yeah. So 9 regular movies, a countless spin-off books and video games and all sorts of things like that. And intergalactic space fuel has never been a thing. The hyperdrive has always malfunctioned. The reason we couldn't get from point A to point B is because, it's because the hyperdrive's broken. It's never been because we didn't stop at, intergalactic mobile, That
was Spaceballs.
Yeah, that was Spaceballs, not this. So for that to be such a crucial plot point was really, really frustrating. Also, it's kind of the same plot as the first couple of episodes of Battlestar Galactica reboot, where it's like, oh, we have just enough fuel to stay just far away from the bad guys.
But they didn't. They didn't. The second the bad guys realized what they were doing, it's like, oh, shoot those things. Boom, boom, boom. Bye-bye, Akbar. Boom.
Yeah, right. But
still, nevertheless, it has its flaws. But ultimately, I enjoyed the couple hours I spent with Last Jedi last night.
Yeah,
it's not like episode 2. It's like,
it's bad.
Really, really we're going to talk about it in a minute because Showcase Cinemas is actually doing a marathon at their Showcase Cinemas Deluxe and Legacy Place in Dedham. It's going to be all 9 episodic Star Wars movies, starting with episode 1 at 7:05 and ending the next day at 5 p.m., starting with The Rise of Skywalker. It's going to be awesome, first and foremost. It's going to be on December 18th. It's going to start on Wednesday night, December 18th, and go until the next day when the early premiere of Rise of Skywalker happens. I did this when Force Awakens came out. I did the marathon from 1 to 7.
There was so much Chinese food.
So much Chinese food, which isn't going to happen in this one because Showcase is good about their refreshments, and they're going to have a whole deal. They got, they're going to have cleanup stations, much like with the Marvel thing.
Yep.
They got Jedi yoga, so they can take breaks and stretch it out. There's going to be cantina meal breaks. You're going to have phone chargers. You're going to have all kinds of good stuff. Showcase takes care of you during these marathons.
Yeah, they really do.
I mean, I'm going to be there. I hope you would be there as well, Eddie.
I absolutely love Star Wars.
A definite maybe.
I absolutely love Star Wars. It's fantastic. Like you said, people had issues with it. I just talked about my issues with episode 8, but I'm so excited for this movie. I'm excited
episode
to see
9,
where we go for episode 9. The thing that I liked was we went in a different direction, and I'm excited to see where we go from the end of 8 into 9.
Right.
Hopefully the internet didn't get to them too much, and they don't just retcon everything in the first 5 minutes. So.
Well, you can find out by going to showcasecinemas.com and grabbing your tickets for the Star Wars Marathon. It's happening at Showcase Cinemas Deluxe at Legacy Place in Dedham. It's the only theater in New England doing this marathon. So go to showcasecinemas.com and grab your tickets. It's December 18th. You get an early screening of Rise of Skywalker and all the other 8 movies as well. It's going to be a fun time. I'm absolutely going to be there. It's going to be a hoot. It's going to be a hoot.
It'll be an intergalactic hootenanny.
An intergalactic hootenanny. Okay, so let's jump into Hocus Pocus because we're wrapping up Halloween season. We're here on the North Shore. This movie took place in Salem, so let's do it. Hocus Pocus was released on July 16th, 1993 by the Disney Company. It had a budget of $28 million. It had a box office of 39.5, and while it did make money back, it only came in at number 4 at the box office. More of a cult classic than an actual classic. It was directed by Kenny Ortega. It starred Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, Kathy Najimy, and Thora Birch was the only child that came out of this movie alive. I guess.
No, that is not true.
Really? Who else?
Thackeray Binks is on NCIS.
All right. Well, that doesn't count.
That absolutely
that doesn't count because they didn't call him Zachary. Thackeray. All right, because welcome to That Movie Show right here on North Shore 104.9, presented by Showcase. And it's because my biggest problem with this movie is his name, Thackeray. It sounds like someone with a lisp saying Zachary, and it annoys me. I hate it. Zachary. Just call him Zachary Binks. Thackeray. Really? All right, Cindy Brady. Why don't you get your cat some fucking...
Oh, you're that mad about it.
Every time. I get so heated on these reviews. Every time. But seriously, Thackeray? Really?
Yeah. Thackeray.
All right, I'm going to cool down because you like this movie a whole hell of a lot better than I do. So I'm going to let you take the reins for a minute.
Yeah, so this movie is very much prime, like cult childhood nostalgia feels. This is where it didn't make a lot in the terms of the box office, but by the time my age group got around to it on the ABC Family and whatever they were calling it at the Freeform at the time, we've definitely this is our Halloween movie, like some people have Monster Squad, some people have Hocus Pocus, and then the generation kind of after me is Halloween Town. Right. And this holds a special place in my heart. It's fun. It's just very, very fun, spooky, like wholesome fun in a...
I was talking to somebody earlier today. It's basically like the Halloween version of A Christmas Story.
Right. That's perfect.
Because Disney does show it all day on Freeform. Not just all day, all month.
Somebody listed off a bunch of the movies that they play on Freeform, like Disney plays on Freeform, which is their 31 Days of Halloween. That's their whole thing. And they're the Hallmark Channel of Halloween. That's what you know what I mean. That's what it is.
Pretty much.
But you're absolutely right. I think that's an accurate statement. Is this movie is it is a Christmas Story, but for Halloween, because it's better than Nightmare Before Christmas, which I don't know. Some people say that's a Christmas movie. Some people say that it's a Halloween movie. I don't know. This is just a better movie.
I mean, I don't know what category Nightmare Before Christmas falls into. I don't know if I could double down on you saying that it's a better movie.
Yeah.
This movie's.
I also want you to.
It's. I mean, it's fun, but it's not a good